Hello, hello, it looks like we're live. Just gonna call up my stream here so I can see all the cool comments. How is everyone doing tonight? We're gonna do something crazy special. Crazy special. There I am. Got that going.
Crazy special.
Whoop. Alright. Now we're good to go. Let's get going. Happy Friday, everyone. Good to see you. Hope everything is going all right for you. Had a good week. Those of us who don't work Saturday and Sunday, happy Friday. 16 by 20 canvas, thin even coat of liquid white. And we are good to go. We're going to do a great painting. Something fall. And we're doing all sorts of new stuff here today. So let's see what we can do. Right now, just going to grab a tiny bit of Indian yellow, a little bit of yellow ochre, a very, very, very tiny amount. Look at how it mixes with that liquid white. It's almost like pastel happening here in the sky. And we're going to have some water today, so let's put a little bit of reflection in the water too. Very pale. Very pale. We don't want any hard edges here. And that liquid white, that's the key. So, I think what we'll do now is a little bit of Prussian blue. Oh, I'm sorry, I totally mixed up. It's alright to do it. I'm going to follow my guidelines here. I could do blue, then brown, but then I wouldn't get to clean my brushes often. There we go. A little bit, believe it or not, Van Dyke brown. And if you think you have too much, just keep tapping it. Keep tapping on your palette. Oh, I didn't have enough. It's alright, you can always add more. If you want it a little bit darker, throw in a little bit of blue or midnight black here. I got a little bit of midnight black. Just going to throw a little bit on there. We're just sort of blocking in some color. See that? We don't really need to worry too much about blending or anything going on. We're just going to put some color. Now I can come in here, grab a little blue, a little bit of black, and I'm just mixing those two right there on the brush. Blue and a little bit of black. Filling in some spots here. Prussian blue, believe it or not. And then a little bit more black. Just sort of filling in the gaps. At any point here, you can clean the brush. Hey, what's up, Zerd? Number one commenter. Alright. Ooh, that was getting almost like a drum solo. Now, I can work these colors together. Just sort of working them back and forth, letting them sort of mix and combine. And then also mix with that white. And we're going to get it soft. Soft, soft, soft. And there we go. It's pretty simple. Now I got a lot of lights going on with this my studio here, so everything looks like there's big white spots in there. I swear there's not. But let's go ahead and let's darken some of these a little bit. And with this oil paint, this stuff takes hours to dry, even a very thin coat like this. Hours, if not days. So I can come back and create, ooh, all these little streaks, blues. Come back here, throw in a little bit of black. And just knock the paint off and work it. Kind of turns into a little cloud there. Softer you get it, the lighter it gets, the more it works in with that liquid white. So you want to be careful there. Ooh, I got a little bit of paint in my brush. I can just sort of fill in that little bit right there. All right. Oh, no problem. Hey there, what's up, Gonald Goose? Gonald Goose, there we go. Seneca, you know, it's funny, I just got a phone call. A lady asking me that same exact question. A little bit of blue, a little bit of black. And I'm in Michigan. And I just got a phone call, but it was I don't know where she got my name. I didn't get that far with her. But she's in California, and she was interested in taking classes. That would be a little tough unless we wanted to go virtual, which I'm getting ready to do my first one at some point. But the best thing and the best advice I can give you, Cynical, is go to bobross.com, and there's a button there for a link to take a class, and then it'll open up a little map there. You choose your state or country. We're everywhere. And then that'll show you all the certified instructors in your area who are best equipped to teach you this method. That's my advice. Don't be like me and just buy paints and get started, but you can. But if you want to progress faster, take a class with an instructor so you can get that hands-on training. I put it to her. I've heard about the Zoom. Someone added a minute already. You guys are awesome. I have yet to do a virtual class. I'm more of a hands-on guy, and well, no one's sent me any money, so. But the problem is you have to have all the tools and paints, and it's a little bit of an outlay if you've never painted before. If you're not sure if you're going to keep it up, it's tough to put all that out there. But Bob Ross sells a master kit and a basic kit. Basic kit's like five paints, 2 tools, and then you can get a cheap canvas somewhere and rig up a little bucket for your paint thinner, odorless mineral spirits. So I mean, yeah, you could do it for as little as say $60-70. Or you could take a class with someone. They usually, certified instructor classes usually provide all the tools and supplies that you need to do a finished painting. So there we go. Look at that. Sky, a little water. I'm not sure what Juice World is, but I'll take the compliment. I tell you, I cannot find a TV show that I can stick with lately. Every TV show I start to watch, be it an old classic or one I've never watched before, or a new like binge watching session, I just cannot find a show that keeps my interest. Must be getting cynical in my olden ages. There we go. I like that. That's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and mix up a color here. And we're going to mix up, let's see, we're going to do a little bit of, let's do it right here, a little bit of crimson. That was a lot of crimson. A little bit of crimson. A little bit of Prussian blue. And a little bit of white. We're looking for a nice lavender color to the blue side. So that's definitely to the blue side, a little bit too much. So I add a little crimson. That purples it up a little bit. Okay. Lighter you get this, for this particular technique, the lighter paint you have, the further they look away. The further in the distance they'll appear. How about that? I know things. I know how to talk. Further things away, you. A little bit more. Takes a lot of white to bring it lighter, you know. It's a lot easier to darken a color. I think that's good. And then I'm going to add bare hint of brown. Bare hint of brown. Okay. Maybe slightly more brown. And some more white. Sorry, I'll show you again. I'm just not satisfied, so I'm going to keep working until I find my color. There we go. Let's give that a try. So, being a certified instructor, I'm just going to tell you here what I like to do to help keep my skills, you know, up to date, and to hopefully improve my skills is to take a Joy of Painting episode and see if I can recreate it, but also add different things to it and make it my own. So I've actually never done this episode before. Why not try it live? You know, for good, for bad, for better, for worse. We're going to do a whole painting today. Today. Let us try. Oh, I didn't realize that much of me was showing. Sorry about the old paint stainy shirt. So, fan brush. Let's go ahead. A little bit more brown. There we go. Don't need a lot of paint, apparently. I sound confident now, don't I? All right, let's go ahead and make ourselves hopping right into it here. Just gonna bounce the brush a little bit, and we're gonna put in some couple of faraway trees. Trees are a little weird at first, until you realize, let it sink in, that they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to look like perfect little limbs, you know? The more irregular. No, is it mirrored? How could it be mirrored? It's not mirrored. At least not for me. I'm using my rear-facing camera, and I can read the words fine when I'm looking through my phone. I am a righty. I used to do my streams with the selfie camera, the front-facing camera, till I finally got this rig working. Just so you know, I am recording this also, and I'll put this whole thing up on my YouTube channel, Nature's Rush Studio, for you guys to see later. It won't have comments or anything, and it'll actually be probably a little bit better quality because I'm recording with a camcorder rather than recording it through my phone. So there we go, just some faraway trees. Well, thanks, Published Coffee. I was going crazy there. Let's do another. Another little tree right there. Let's strengthen these, get little guys back up. Now, it's a good day. It's a good day. Take out all our frustrations here. Just cracking this brush in there. Fire it in there, as old Bill Alexander used to say. Fire it in. And I'm actually just crushing the bottom edge here. I'm forcing it to mix with the background colors and, of course, that liquid white. And that's going to create the illusion here of mist. Look at that. Picked up a little bit of this color. You may not be able to see it, but I'm just sort of bashing it over to this way, bringing it down. And if you really want to add a little to it, go ahead and add a little to it. Look like little bushes and little far away. Okay. A couple of wipes here just to hypnotize, make everything nice and soft. And that's just going to be stuff that we may not see much of. P-Farts, thank you! YouTube channel, Nature's Brush Studio, youtube.com/c/Nature's Brush Studio, Nature's Brush Studio, Facebook, website, YouTube, and of course my Instagram is I'm TedSim, because I am. I'm TEDSIM. Okay, we're going to take that old dirty brush here and let's clean the fan brush. Fan brush is boring. Is it really? I just wrote it again and made it like twice as big as it was. Oh man. So sorry. I gotta like learn how to write in 72-point font. Let's see. We're gonna take a little bit of dark sienna, a tiny bit of brown, Van Dyke brown, and then a touch of green. Now, like I said, I've never done this painting before. I don't think I've ever done this color scheme before. This is crazy. So let's go ahead and bring it forward. Make some big old trees here. All I'm doing is hitting it with the corner of the brush. The rest of the brush bends and touches the canvas, and it makes the little branch, the little shark tooth effect automatically. I'm not doing that. I'm not drawing it in, trying to go for ultra realism here. We just bang the brush in there, and it just happens. Went a little bit further than I wanted to, but that's all right. We'll make it work. Didn't want to destroy all the mist here. You see, you slightly cover up some of the background, and that helps create the illusion that there's planes, as Bob liked to call them, little different areas that are closer and further. Depth and distance. Well, thanks, P. Thanks, Mr. Math. Mr. Math. That's right. That's the whole thing, Cyclical. That's the whole point of this method, is simple techniques with the right formulated paint and the right brushes, and you guys can have success the very first time you do this. Let's go ahead and let's do one more. And what great thing about Bob is he teaches you certain theories, artistic theories, without like lecturing you. Just by practicing this method and seeing how he talks sometimes, helps you learn the concepts, you know, and the color palette and fine art techniques. Things that'll help every time you paint. One of the things I can tell you is, typically, I don't make any tree the same height. Okay? They're all different. And that's so it doesn't look too uniform. It looks a little bit more natural. So, let us try this. All I've got is a little bit of liquid white that I had in my brush from when I started preparing the canvas. All I'm doing is just tapping. Touching a little bit of that color and drawing it out. Now I'm not going to talk, hopefully, for like 30 seconds. I just want you guys to hear this. Isn't that nice? There we go. That's right, my way or the highway. I am Ted. I'm a certified Bob Ross instructor. All that means is I've took specialized courses down at the Bob Ross Gallery in Florida, and at the end of the course you're considered a certified instructor and you know, go out and teach under his name. So let me try this. I've got a little bit of this brown. I kind of forgot over here. If I'm somewhat recreating this episode from memory here, I forgot we need a little guy hanging out here. What do you think this tree's deal is? Why is he over here by himself? Maybe he needs a friend? Let's say he needs a little guy way behind him, or just not as big. He flew the coop. There we go. Now I get to come back this old brush here. Just grabbing a little bit of the color. Oh, I might need a tiny bit. There, I had to force it out a little bit. Just want it mellow and soft. There we go. That's something. Got a little bit of mist here. I tell you what, a little bit too much mist. Let's go ahead and, let's get crazy here and just sort of make that a little bit taller. Small amount of color. That's all we need. I'm not wiping, or really, I'm not really even painting, so to speak. All we're doing is tapping, having a good time. Kind of creating another little hill right there. That's something. It's starting. I'll tell you what, first person to tell me what episode this is, like season and episode number, you're the winner, and I'll send you something if you're willing to give me your information. What season and what episode? That'll give you guys something to think about. So, we're coming back, and we've got this brown, dark sienna, brown and dark sienna. Loading this brush up. And let's see here. So nervous about where to put that, wasn't I? Let's make it a little taller. There it is. Come up here with the corner of the brush. Doot, 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 doot. You'll notice here, if that helps, try to touch in the center and then work my way out to the left and the right. Always filling in the center and then coming out. Watch, I'm going to go crazy and go fast this time. Hitting it. Same concept is still there. Load that brush full, hit it with the corner. Watch them branches fall out. Brown trees, so interesting. I think we might even have some little bushies and stuff under there. And let's see here. For the next bit, more dark sienna. More dark sienna. Maybe even a touch of the bright red. Just want to change up the color a little bit. Maybe a little bit of alizarin crimson. Let's see what this does. I might lose a tree here. Oh, we're going big. I think we lost that tree. We still got you. We still got you. I was thinking no one's commenting. Thought my stream ended. Another hot tip. Make sure the tiniest branches are at the top. You go too crazy too soon, your tree almost looks upside downish. Bring this one down a little bit. Might do a magic trick later. Little magic trick that Bob does so often. So I don't take much credit if I'm just recreating a magic trick here and there. We know who the master is. Thanks, Bob Frog 93. I've been streaming on here for, oh gosh, since March. Usually on distance socializing because I thought it was more of a social thing that I was doing, but now I'm over here at the Artist Studio, rocking it. Blueberry, what's up? And, oh, we got to do it again. This time I got to clean a brush. Look at that, I got like 3 brushes already need cleanings. So I've got a bucket, and I got a trash can here with a piece of PVC running across it. That allows me to get most of the paint thinner into the bucket and not across the room. So let's see, beating a tiny bit of the dark sienna. Don't want too much here because once again, watch this. Well, I do need a little bit more paint. There we go. Got a little bit of blue that I'm not going to be able to do much with. And I think what we're going to do is grab some of this, pull it down, turn some of it into reflections. That's going to be reflections of the little hill that we created. See, we got a whole nother plane. This tree and this tree push these back, which pushes that back, which pushes the sky back. So easy. Yeah, you know what? Boy, I tell you what, Alicia Davenport, that's what I usually do. Believe it or not, if you check my profile, usually I do name it Bob Ross Style Painting with CRI Ted. Well, that's what I get for doing anything different, huh? Someone calls me out. All right, I'll tell you what. Oh, it's fun time. A little bit of the yellow ochre, and you can do this in whatever color. You can do this as a winter painting if you really want to. A little bit of bright red into the yellow ochre. I'm like pushing, tapping that paint right up there on the tip. Let's see if we can do this. Right across the top there. Give it a little bit of a highlight. Maybe a second little plane right there. All right, so now we're going to come back, and this time we're going to come back right back into our dark sienna, and we're going to add some of the Van Dyke brown into that. Maybe even a touch of the green, what the heck. And once again, create another little peninsula. And look at that. All of a sudden we use this tree to push that one back. That was my favorite part of the episode, watching him do that. I'm like, wait a minute, he put two trees. Now all of a sudden this tree is like 30 feet forward. There's a magic trick for you. Courtesy of Bob. I saw that, I gotta try this episode. Come back in here, and this time, a little bit of the yellow ochre. Look, I got a little bit of Indian yellow, maybe even a little bit of cad yellow here. Put a little bit of a topper on there. If it's not coming off for you and it's struggling a little bit for me, I'm going to grab the tiniest amount of the liquid white. Makes it a little bit lighter, brighter, but it also makes it thinner. And our golden rule is that a thin paint sticks to a thick paint. We want the highlights to just stick right up on top here. Something like that. All right, I need another clean brush. Not sure what's happening. Did I lose you guys? Thanks, Bob Frog, if you're there. I don't know, it says that it's still going. Did my stream end or not? That's so weird. I almost ended it. My Oh, I guess I didn't. Maybe I did. I'm not seeing it anymore. Well, if it did, I'm going to restart it. Not sure what happened. Am I live again? Not sure. Welcome back, people, if you've decided to come back. My stream just ended, so I started a new one. And I'm already halfway through. I just did this painting, you know. I did part 1 here, and I'm gonna work my bums to get this finished off in one session. So what I need to do to really help sell that this is some land here is we'll just put in some land. Haha. And all I'm doing here is I'm using my palette knife to scrub a tiny bit of brown here, trying to keep it horizontal. We don't want to curve at all. That'll kind of ruin the perspective. So if you keep this nice and flat, it's going to look like, you know, a little bit of dirt, a little bit of beach. Tiny bit of brown, dark sienna or Van Dyke, it doesn't really matter. Anything you don't like, just keep rubbing it, it'll disappear. Small amounts of paint, that's the key. Now with a tiny bit of the liquid white, tiny bit, just going to saw in a little water line here. Trying to keep it light, but not bright. I might have scrubbed a little too hard there. I'm going to come back with a little bit. Let's rub it. There we go. Now I can add my water line. Just underneath the bottom of the land. That's important. You want to put the water line next to the water. Extra tip today. Look at that. Just by tapping, we can create another little hill thing coming down to the water there. Brighten things up as you wish. I like that. A little bit brighter here, darker as you come up under the tree. Pixie Dust, welcome, welcome. I'm not sure what happened to the first stream there, but it just sort of it just sort of ended, and here we are. So, got a little bit of stuff here. Just making some softening taps. Tell you what, I kind of like that. Make a little peninsula on the left side here. Bob did a peninsula, but it was a lot further down. I kind of like that. And then we take our brush, get a little bit of a reflection. We'll do the same thing here. Grab a little bit of that darker color, scrub in a little bit of the land, pushing that paint right up into the fabric there. And then we'll take our waterline, there we go. Starting to fill in quite a bit over here. Let's thanks, Pixie. Let's build something here. Whoop. Using my big old round brush here, brown, dark sienna, get that into the bristles. Take out the excess. Let's go ahead and have a big old tree here. Maybe a couple trees. Sort of creating the illusion here of some interesting backgrounds. Come back here and you can strengthen them a little bit. The lighter they are, the further back they become. But if you get a little bit darker down here in the base, all of a sudden, throwing a rope around them and dragging them in. Don't need a lot of paint. Look at this. Oh, look at that. You know the trick here. You know the trick. We can make these trees be far away, about on par with this tree here. This one is about on par with this one, and all of a sudden, we don't know. All of a sudden, this is a bush that's way up in front. And maybe that'll come out into a little something, something. Let's do it. Why not? I like that. Something like that. A little bit different than the episode I'm attempting to recreate, but similar. We're both using paint. That's for certain. Whether or not I'm doing it better, better. As long as I'm doing halfway as good as Bob, would be pleased as punch. Listen to that. I almost said better. As good? That's what I think I meant to say. Let's not kid ourselves here. It ain't gonna be as good. Hey, what's up there, myself? Thank you, thank you. Let us grab another brush. I'll tell you what, let's use a half round brush. And let's come into, a little bit of that yellow ochre and Indian yellow. Yellow ochre, Indian yellow, maybe a touch of the bright red. I don't know, I kind of like that tree way off in the distance. I'm going to say it's off in the distance. I'm not going to highlight it. I choose not to. There we go. Before I do any others, let me come in here And I'm taking a paint thinner and I'm thinning down some of that Van Dyke brown. Twisting and spinning and rotating and letting that thinner do its job. Spin the brush, get a nice sharp point. Let's go ahead and maybe on this one here we're going to see a little bit of a, I'll tell you what, maybe it comes all the way down, why not? Maybe that's a little trunk there. And I think I just made a big tree here in the front. Basically making a couple of little clumps. And we come by here, maybe let's add a little bit of this bright yellow. Liven this one up a little. Oh, there it is. There we go. We're starting to get the idea. Depth and distance, changing things up. Keeping it to the browns and the yellows. Very, very fall-like painting. Coming in a little bit of the bright red into that yellow ochre. Put a little red highlight, reddish highlights on this. All right. So, where's my dirty brush? Well, that'll do. Clean up a little bit of this paint thinner area. I don't want thin paint here. Want to come in, look at all this brown. I'm going to use it up. Straight brown. Maybe a touch of black or the dark sienna. I just need some paint. Dark. Gonna have to get some more brown out of the tube here in a minute. Let's strengthen up this. We're just having protrusions galore here. See, Bob painted on an 18 by 24, so he's got a lot more room to work with. I'm kind of like shrinking things in, making the things like a miniature version of it. Thanks, Ziggy. Picks. Come on now. Pretty light in here today. It's Friday night. What's everyone out partying? Oh, I'll tell you what. This is I was telling you on this on my other stream, part 1. I basically chose this episode. I was just messing around. And then I watched Bob do this cabin. I've never seen him do this style cabin before. And I'm like, you know what? This is the episode I gotta try, and for better or for worse, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna attempt it. If it just turns into happy accidents, well, we might just get a big old tree up there instead. Oop, that was not the right color. Maybe I should stop talking and just focus on the painting, but that would just be boring. Brown. I wanted brown, not black, so that was a couple bucks wasted. Awesome. See what I sacrificed for you guys? Let's go ahead and make a happy cabin. And we got to keep it away from those stretcher bars. That's a big tip. You don't want to be building your cabin too close to the edge. It gets a little weird. So let's try it right there. Touch in a little eave, and then go right into roof. Just making a general shape. Clean up that line like that. There we go. All right, so we're going to pull down. We're just slathering in color here. Well, I think I missed here with my placement. I don't think I'm going to have room to do the cabin I meant to do. It's supposed to be up on a hill with a stone base, and I've never done a cabin with a stone base before. Next time, right? Next time. You'll have to tune in. Will he do that one? I don't know. But just sort of getting a general shape out here. All right, one of the other things Bob did that I can do is make an attempt here to recreate. I don't think I've done this before either, so that's good enough. Good enough reason to try it. Little bit of the dark sienna and brown into the white. Let's mix up a nice highlight color. Nope and nope. Sorry, it's neither of those. You're not even the right season. Haha. Alright, well, I'm trying to make horizontal boards here. It's tough getting up in there. And then oh, that's what I didn't do. I did it in reverse. Let me just fix that. Just going to put that color back in again. There it is. Fixed. Yes, I am doing an episode of the Joy of Painting right now, but it's not those two. Get a little bit of that highlight color. Problem was, I was trying to do it horizontally. These boards are vertical. Good. There it is. Now you come back here with the brown and cover up half of it. Ha ha. Are you scouring 2inchbrush.com looking for paintings with cabins? That would be one way to do it. If you want the prize, find all of Bob's paintings with cabins until you guess the right season and episode. Now I come back and I get a little bit of paint on the knife, and now I come back and See, I wasn't doing it fast enough. There we go. Now all I got to do for that area in the back, it's got a little bit more shadow to it. Just make the paint a little bit darker. See that? Throw some brown in it. Little roll of paint. I come back here and let's just go. And if you miss it, you can come back. Give it a little half a dirt. Dirt, dirt, dirt. There it is. All right, and then I take a little bit of the bright red, mix it into that color. Maybe a little dark sienna in there too. Dark sienna, bright red, white. Dirt, 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 dirt. Maybe just a little touch. Maybe we'll see a shingle or two on that side. Yeah, I know. Bob actually, he did a stone thing here, and he made the stones just by scratching the point of the knife. It was freaky. So a little tiny bit of the liquid white, and let's just zing it. Little bam. 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 Ooh. Tell you how risky that is. I gotta hold my breath. There it is. Now we'll just go into a little bit of straight brown. I'm going to throw a little black into it because, I got a lot of paint out here. Ooh. Could use the small knife for that, but little door. And I'm feeling fancy. Let's go ahead and let's say this is a 2-story house. And he's got a window and a pair of windows over on the side. There we go. Now I take a little bit of that liquid white. Come right around by the door, you just touch and saw. Tiny little bit. When I'm teaching classes, I see my students just like, okay, I'm ready for that tiny little line. Tiny bit. I catch them. I'm like, oh, trust me. About the width of a human hair on your knife. Not a hairbrush. Just made that up. And if you don't want to highlight these, you don't have to. It works just fine. But just seeing a tiny little glimmer, people are going to wonder, how the heck did he do that? There it is. So now the best part of the painting. It's the whole reason why I've been painting for 5 years, teaching for 3. Cabinectomies. You've got to touch and trim your cabin. Ooh, kind of lost it on the perspective. That is an awful, awful cabin. Now, I don't know why I just noticed that. The too much face, not enough side. Oh well. Not sure what I did there. About ready to toss it all. You just broke the only rule? Uh-oh. What, have fun? What rule did I break? There's a few different ones. Never eat spinach with a stranger. That's a rule to live by right there. Oh, that one. What's up live YouTube videos? Well, thanks. You know, sometimes it works better days than others. So I'm going to come by here and get a little bit of that liquid white and the cad yellow. All my yellows. I'm not sure what you mean by my YouTube videos. I can possibly guess is that you might have seen some of my YouTube videos are old and they're just time lapses. But a lot of my new ones, I got a beard. Back before the pandemic here, I wasn't able to have full videos. It was, you know, certified instructor rules and regs. And but now during the pandemic here, they're allowing people to save their stuff. Javi, you won. Javi got it. How long have I been painting? I've been doing this particular method for, about 5 years. I feel like I'm repeating myself. No, I'm just teasing. Painting for 5 years, teaching for 3. Tell you what, we need something right there. I made my cabin a little too low. One more projection. One more projection. Oh, I tell you what, it just got bigger. A little bit of liquid white. A little bit of the yellow ochre. Get a little bit of that green in there. Let's make a nice dull green. Well, yeah, I was an artist before that. I studied art in college, and then that was like years ago. But I've done other things artistically. The last thing I was painting before this, coming into this method, was miniatures. I'm an old school Dungeons and Dragons nerd and used to paint all the little skeletons and kobolds and adventurers and so forth and monsters. And I just can't do it anymore, unfortunately. My eyes and my wrists, my fingers cramp up and all that. Can't paint the minis anymore. That's too bad. I really enjoyed doing that. Never used them for anything. I just like putting the paint on and making the bases. Alicia Davenport, you don't need experience. Please, please, don't be fooled. You don't need any kind of experience to paint like this. So it's pretty interesting. I got kind of it's kind of done, weirdly enough, but I think it needs a little more. I think it needs a little more. What do you say I do a little magic trick once again? Brown, dark sienna, black, whatever that color was. A little bit of sap green, a tiny bit of crimson. Lots and lots of paint. Skulls? A full-scale D&D skull painting in the Bob Ross style. No, I didn't. I mean, I'm not sure what you mean there. I'm no good at like traditional painting, man. I can show you what I was talking about here. I'm sure you understood, but now I was just giving the excuse. Here's an actual one that I did. This is a 1980s, dust. A 1980s double-headed giant. I only painted old minis too, not the new ones really. All my old TSR minis. And doing the base, that was the coolest part. Dry brushing and stuff. So yeah, that's the stuff that I can't do anymore. Sorry, thanks for looking. Magic trick. I'm gonna push everything back. Get out my my work gloves and we're gonna go crazy. Probably could use a different brush for this. Watch this. I'm gonna also destroy that little tree. Look at this. We're gonna go right on down. Okay, I'll tell you guys what. I'm gonna let you guys decide. Thanks, Blueberry. What kind of tree do you want this to be? Do you want it to be a big old evergreen? Do you want it to be birch trees? Evergreen or birch trees? I can change it into either at this point. I put it in there, nice and tall. But we can change it up. No, come on, there was 2 choices, my friends, not 5. Palm tree, come on now. Okay, there we go, you guys. Birch, birch, birch. I don't even know what the pineapple. I thought pineapples are like bushes. Birch trees, alright, alright. So we can make this guy a little bigger. And, you know, because birch trees kind of grow in clumps, we got to give them a nice friend here. So there's the magic trick. We pushed them all back. There we go. Don't really know where this guy's going to end yet. Somewhere around there. Let's just say kind of meets up right there. Just so it doesn't float out there and people start commenting on my design choices. So there we go. Birch trees, birch trees, birch trees. One of my favorite things to do. Let's go ahead and take that titanium white. It's got a little bit of the browns and stuff in it. That's okay. Oh, I'm gonna make Dr. Feels Good's day here. There you go. Because this titanium white is so firm and dry, all I'm doing is touching and pulling in a kind of cylindrical, like a little C, and that causes the paint to break and create all these little breaks and holes that give it a little semblance of birch bark. One of the coolest effects. It's really easy to do. What's not easy is doing the side here without sticking my entire arm into the shot. But I come over here on the left side and I try to get a tiny little bit of it also on the other side. But it doesn't have to be perfect. Oh man, sorry if there's a pit stain. If anything, I would call these paintings somewhat impressionistic. We're just creating the illusion here of the bark. Your mind kind of fills in the gaps here. You know, it sees these general curvy shapes and it puts it in your mind that it's a cylinder, you know, a nice round trunk. I like that. Now, so Bob sometimes comes in here, like right in the center, and puts black, and then goes over it again with the white, but I'm really liking how that turned out, so I'm just going to let it ride. Let it ride. Peely bark. That's probably the best compliment I could ever hear. If you thought this was an actual Bob Ross, you know, I've seen his paintings up close. You know, you can see them at the gallery, and I've seen them at a couple other locations. It is just remarkable how different they look in person, and how it just makes it look even more impressive when you get to see the brush strokes. And then you take a step back and just watch it all blend together and make that awesome scene. That's why I tell my students, a lot of my students get frustrated when we're doing this, but they don't realize that you got to step back. I'm up here like this and I see every little weave of the canvas and it just does not look right. So you got to step back for the effect to take hold. And the trick with these branches is wiggle, wiggle, and twitch yourself. Get some paint out there. Don't just try to draw them a specific side. You just gotta, I'm even holding my brush way out at the end here. Touch and just sort of wiggle and let them climb out of your brush. Then you can come back here and add in some of these little sub branches to the left and to the right as you go up. You don't have to worry about it that much. The more random you do it, the better it looks. Just make them a little bit wider as you get closer to the trunk. You don't even have to make them that wiggly. Just try to make them random. And that paint thinner dries very, very quickly, so you often have to grab another brush full of the paint thinner and reconstitute your pile there. I'm using liquid black and some brown. I am user TEDSIM, TEDSIM. Not sure if you can see that. You can just check out my website, and that links you to all my other social medias. I'll try to make a poster version of this. I struggle with branches. I know I'm telling you 5 different ways to make these branches, but I still get worried and I start fussing and futzing around with each and every branch. Oh, they gotta have this and it gotta look like that, and here I am doing it right now. I make them look a little wonky, but then I just go back to it. Sometimes I got to remember to kind of put one in the middle there, middle of the trunk, so it's not just they're all on the left and all on the right. You know, you can kind of swirl them out, swirl them around too if you want. And since I just have so much time on my stream here, I'm gonna fart around and add lots and lots of branches here. It's fall. And if you don't like it, you can decide in your painting here that they still have leaves on it and cover up anything you don't like. Is put that above the toilet. Now, I mean, if it was just the toilet, then I would say yes. But if you got a shower in there, it's not good for the paint. The oil paint doesn't like the humidity. I know you might have just been making a joke, but I'm sort of making a joke back to you, and I'm being serious. Above the toilet. I would be proud to have a painting above the toilet. My wife wouldn't let me. No, what she wouldn't let me do was sort of, when I was a younger lad living with my brother out in Arizona, we just had a poster of Ozzy sitting on the toilet on the door behind the bathroom. So that's what I wanted to get for my bathroom here, but then my wife, for some reason, just said I should grow up. Lots and lots of branches. I'm going branch crazy here. Before I get too much crazier. There we go. Let's throw a little bit of that on there. Bring this trunk down. I say this one's in front. There we go. Got to bring it down into the land here. All right. Telling you guys, if you ever want to do a Zoom thing and you able to get your hands on some oil paints, you feel free to get in touch with me or Facebook. We connect whatever way you want, and let's paint. There we go. Sorry, I had to be quiet there. I was making a crazy tree right here too. Make it a little bigger at the bottom. There we go. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Take a little bit of the liquid white, a little bit of paint thinner. Let's load my brush up here. It's pretty white anyway, I think. I'm going to add a couple little highlights on these main branches. Just somewhere on the top. If you can get a little bit out there. That's all it really needs. Adds just a little extra detail. Alright. See, now I'm fussing and fighting over it. Thinking I gotta change all this stuff here. Alright. Thanks, Crazy Pants. Add mushrooms and a small tree? Well, we can add, sure, we could do something like that. Why not? Well, we can do some bushes. I think we had some stuff like that. Clean my old brush here. A little bit of black, a little bit of brown. Little sticker right there. And I say, a little bit of the white, liquid white. Start beating on this cad yellow here. He's a late bloomer here. A little bit of the green. Touch green. Really want it to be different than the base here. So lots of paint. That's a golden rule right there. Lots of paint. Just barely tap. Little something something there. Not too shabby.